Hey Delulus, so this video is mostly unscripted and unfiltered. Okay, so there's this anime YouTuber I subscribed to like 5 years ago. I stopped watching after a while, not because I didn't like them, but because I drifted away from anime in general and didn't feel the need to keep up. You know how YouTube sometimes randomly recommends older videos? One of theirs from like 3 years ago popped up, and out of curiosity, I clicked on their channel to see what was up. So they posted a new anime on Crunchyroll, that streaming service that's now owned by Sony, and the whole video was about censorship in this particular anime. So I was like, okay, what could this possibly be about? So the anime is based on a manga called Please Put Them On Takimin-san, and oh my god, you're in for a wild, wild ride. Alright, let's begin. Chapter 1. Jail for all of them. The story, get this, follows two high school students, a boy named Kiyoshi, ends up catching the class president, Takimin. By the way, I apologize for my Japanese pronunciation. I'm dyslexic, I barely speak English. So while she's changing her clothes, you already know where this is going. Turns out she has a power. She can rewind time. But wait for it, taking off her underwear. I'm not even joking. That's an actual premise.
What?
So obviously she needs someone to carry her underwear, because if she puts it back on, she loses some of her power.
Huh?
And guess who ends up being her human wardrobe? Yep, the boy. Because he saw her naked, he's immune to the effects of the time rewind. And yes, this boy has to put her underwear on for her. She can't do it herself. When I'm telling you jail for everyone involved.
Jail time! Jail time!
So the discourse online, people are mad because the first 2 episodes were uncensored on Crunchyroll, but then the latter episodes were censored. That's not even what got me. What I'm sitting with is this. Why is this kind of content still so popular? This is literally porn. Softcore, yes, but let's not lie to ourselves. These are stories about children. Chapter 2. We are not delusional. Now, I'm not Japanese, obviously, but I've watched enough anime and read enough Japanese media to understand how deep the cultural roots go. Japanese society is still deeply traditional, especially when it comes to gender roles. And those patriarchal ideas, they seep into everything: media, art, storytelling, and especially anime. Ironically, Japan has strict censorship laws around depicting genitalia or certain sex acts, which is why you'll often see pixelization in adult content. But those same laws don't restrict the sexualization of minors in drawn form. That loophole has created a massive industry where childlike characters can be sexualized without legal consequences, which is so messed up. And the male gaze dominates anime. Why? Because the industry, from authors to animators, is still 70 to 85% male. So the stories that come out often paint women and girls as submissive, overly naive, and hypersexualized. And I get it. Anime is fantasy. It's escapism. But why does that fantasy so often include children? Why are these fantasies about controlling or overpowering women, especially young girls? Chapter 3. Escapism is not innocent. And don't get me started on she's an adult but she looks like a child trope. Babe, if she looks young, acts young, talks young, then she's young. And don't play with me on this time loop logic. It's giving massive insecurity. It's giving I need to make as many excuses for my disgusting behaviors. It's disturbing.
Just having those dreams again. You know how it's just me in a castle. I gotta fight like 1,000 wizards. The only way to beat them is to punch them as hard as I can in their faces. And then when I'm done, all their little wizard wives came out, wanted me just to have sex with them, which is kind of weird.
In her 1983 journal, Predators of Self-Projection, Fantasy Fulfillment, and Escapism, Elizabeth Hirschman outlines escapism as a coping mechanism involving 1. Using activities to manage painful or unhappy realities, 2. Self-projection into fictional roles and characters, 3. Using products and media to construct and enhance fantasies, and 4. Distracting oneself from distressing events. Hirschman's research found that people engaging in escapist behavior were often over 30, highly educated, and socially isolated, with their disconnection from societal values intensifying their retreat into fantasy. Also, that societal pressure, isolation, strained family dynamics, and overwhelming expectations from parents or employers often lead to similar patterns. These pressures contribute to extreme escapist behaviors such as, forgive me for my pronunciation, hikinori, the complete withdrawal from society, or intense obsessions with hobbies and media. Within this context, sexualized portrayals of young girls become not just problematic, but symbolic of a larger issue, a desire to retreat into control and fantasy, often at the expense of ethical boundaries and real-world empathy.
Yes. Hey, Nene, it's you. Oh, come on, guys. I think of her more as like a bratty little sister. Guys, settle down. You're really okay that she still looks like a kid?
It's better that way!
Pedo!
What?
Pedo!
I'm not a pedo.
Chapter 4. This isn't just anime, it's cultural sickness. Susan Napier, a major voice in anime studies, wrote in her book Anime from Akira to Howl's Moving Castle that anime can both challenge and reinforce traditional gender roles. She talks about how women are often portrayed as powerful, but only within a very sexualized framework, and the lingering presence of the camera on their bodies. And then we have feminist anthropologists like Laura Miller and Deborah Uchi, who've looked into how Japanese media teaches women to self-police, to be passive, soft-spoken, and cute. We see it in anime all the time. Tiny waist, giant breasts, childlike voices. This idea of, quote, powerful women is still built around desirability, not anatomy. And the comments on some of these videos are wild. People blaming women, saying it's censorship ruining anime, like, be so for real. What you're really mad about is that you can't get off to teenage girls, and it's not being handed to you on a silver platter. Listen, I understand fantasy. I understand escapism. But what I don't understand is, why does your fantasy have to include children? Why is there this obsession with purity, innocence, and inexperience? It's creepy, full stop. Especially when that fantasy leaks into the real world. And this isn't new. Back in the 80s and 90s in Japan, there was a whole subculture around fetishizing schoolgirls. Girls would sell their used school uniforms to middle-aged men, called Buru Sira, short for bloomers and sailor uniforms or school uniforms. This led to an actual business model known as Injo Kosai. I butchered that one for real. Or compensated dating, where the grown men would pay schoolgirls to go on dates, often involving sexual activity, because they were lonely and socially awkward. Does it sound familiar? It's Lolita all over again. Nobu from Perfect Blue. It's so messed up. It's a deep societal sickness dressed up as fantasy. And yes, of course, there are incredible anime out there, ones that uplift women, challenge norms, and explore complex themes, but we can't ignore how much anime also contributes to this culture of objectifying women, and especially young girls. It normalizes submission, it frames women as accessories to men, it sexualizes children, and when people consume that enough, it starts shaping how we see real women. Leads to harassment, stalking, even violence. It affects girls too, how they see themselves, their values, their worth. It creates wounds they carry into adulthood. So while anime can be beautiful and a brilliant art form, we have to be honest about the damage some of these stories do. It's not about hating anime, it's about calling out the parts of it that are harmful. So why is Japan complicit? Because repression creates fantasy, and when patriarchy, capitalism, and the media all work together, these fantasies can become normalized, even if they're harmful. Japan's reserved public face doesn't cancel out its deeply commodified private one. If anything, the restraint fuels the extreme in fictional spaces. But complicity isn't just about individual creators, it's systemic. It's about what's profitable, what's permissible, and what's protected under quote-unquote art, even when it crosses ethical boundaries. After all, sex sells, even to the detriment of young girls and women.
That explains a lot.
It was a heavy one. It was a heavy video, but thank you so much for sticking through and watching it. Would love to know your thoughts, your opinions. Let's have a discourse in the comments. Until next time, thank you so much for supporting me. Bye.
If you were gonna kill me, couldn't you have let me squeeze your jiggly jugs first?